Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tokyo Necro. I just came back from a not so short break. I was just gonna take a short break, but you know, I edited out the last video for Patreon, and I was waiting for the guy to take my package, but it's like 6 p.m. now, and he's still not here. Holy shit! I really hate the logistics system here in Indo. They're so not scheduled or not punctual. I guess it might be delayed to tomorrow, but fuck it. I guess I'll just have to ask someone to give it to him when I'm not home. I gotta go to the gym tomorrow. But yeah, last time we went to the Ikebukuro CPC, and then what else happened? We took a look at Mitsumi apprehending a small-time necromancer from the Malacca gang. And was that it? Yeah, I think that's about it. What I do feel like this game is lacking in right now is that there's not really much going on, is there? I just realized that when I recount the past episode that we did, in comparison to Rants 4.1, which I was just doing yesterday, I'll be recording one episode for Rants 4.2 tomorrow, today actually. Tomorrow will be two Rants 4.2s. But yeah, let's start off this episode, shall we? I'm home. Home. I think about that word. I guess then again, this game does have a lot more characterization based on the tidbits that the game doesn't try to tell you. But I guess we'll see. Just like I said to my friend, a lot of the things that are, explained with the world building, it's good and all, but it can come crashing down when the story is not really going the way I expected it to be. This place was once Iria's home. Obviously, I've got a home too. And that's the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency. If I go there and say I'm home, then Ryoko and Son and Tokitaka would greet me with smiles on their faces. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but I'm sure they'd be welcoming. But the person who I want to come greet me the most isn't there. So I don't think I can say I'm home with a smile like Iria's. The place I can truly go home to is... No, never mind. I need to focus on work. Focus. I returned my attention to my X-Brains display. We've checked out every suspicious spot in Ikebukuro CPC. So Ryoko's given us the order to return, but... Iria suddenly stops as we reach the 6th floor.
聞こえない?
いや、そんな反応は何も。
Iria interrupts Son, but we're surrounded by silence.
どうそう?
特に異常はないけれど。
Son's helmet style X-Brain is faster and more accurate at data processing than my attachment style one. If there's a sound that's audible to the human ear, then naturally it should pick it up. Iria lights up the darkness with her conry, but there's nothing out of the ordinary to be seen. Wonder what's up? Did she hear a sound that's inaudible to the human ear? No way. No way, right? The area lights up in a flash. I immediately level my AK-50 and point it down the hall. A 2050 model of the Kalashnikova, there we go, an assault rifle outfitted with a sling and bayonet, utilizes gas-operated reloading with a long-stroke piston, equipped with a rail system and FCS. What's FCS? I'm not a gun guy. 7.62mm caliber with 45-round magazines. There's no sign of any movement. The lights were off and now they're on. Nothing more. Nothing less.
バッテリー医療用の非常電源が残ってたってこと
Sorry, I had to drink some water there. I suppose that has to be it. My ex-brain determines there's no particular imminent danger and displays nothing. It's like it's ignoring me. Kinda pisses me off.
あれこの景色も見た記憶あるような
Oh, sorry. Iria looks down the hall as she brings out the tone graph.
歌こっちから
Sorry about that. She starts walking, murmuring to herself. I was actually muted when I said that. As I just confirmed, there should be no threats to worry about, but... We chase after her and head down the now-lit hallway. I still don't hear any song. Is it only playing in Iria's head? If she is starting to remember something, does that mean that the lights coming on made it easier to associate the environment with her past? In any case, this is all strange. Why is the only hallway where the lights are on? Why is this? It's like someone's leading us.
君はり
エチカ、お前、そういうのが苦手だったのか？
うっせここ
Iria stops walking in the middle of the hallway. As she does, the tone graph also stops emitting light.
歌が止まった
ここに何が？
Suddenly, my ex-brain gives a suggestion. It seems it's been subconsciously processing spatial information this whole time.
ここ空間あるって
空間？
間取りからしてちょうど一部屋分
In the same way that human brains develop their own personalities, X-brains acquire their own idiosyncrasies as they learn. While my X-brain is no match for Sone's in terms of specs, it seems it's more suited for noticing spatial anomalies like this. After all, I love a good game of cat and mouse when some son of a bitch tries to hide from me. I don't exactly like my X-brain, but it does come in handy in these sort of situations.
思い出した確かここに
When Iria reaches her finger to the wall, her conry starts shining. In response, an electric current runs through part of the wall made of smart material, revealing an authentication device.
ロックが壊れてる。
There's a deep hole gouged out of the center of the device. Sure enough, the circuit's visibly fried, as if by a high-voltage current. So Tang Yunshan's claws. As if someone stabbed it with, say, a high-voltage blade. The door opens with a heavy sound when Iria touches it. We're immediately assailed by a dizzyingly strong floral scent. The room seems to be a study of some sort. The wooden furniture makes for a cozy atmosphere, in stark contrast to the rest of the facility. I can imagine sitting in the reclining chair and just retreating into your own little world. The soothing lotus scent carrying you away. Upon closer inspection, what really stands out about the room is the vast amount of physical books lining the shelves and the walls. No wait, are those binders? The contents of one are spilled out on the floor.
紙？もしかしてカルテか？
This should be obvious, but pretty much every medical record is digitized these days. But just like any other digitized data, electronic medical records carry the risk of a data breach. Filling out information on paper like this suggests that the people who ran this facility were more than just a little concerned with keeping their records secure.
おこれ
I pick up one of the pages and make a surprising discovery. Holographic photos that cycle through various facial expressions are affixed to the medical records. Are these the children who were in the custody of this facility? But the issue here is the logo printed at the top.
帝国エネルギー社
そういうことね。
Ryoko chimes in through the comm link.
こんな大掛かりな施設 らじゃなきゃ不可能よ。
こりゃ参ったね。
Things just got complicated. The Empire Energy Corp, the fat cats who hype up the Tokyo Rebirth project, or whatever, every chance they get. You know their slogan, order and progress. I thought they were supposed to be shut up in the mega float. What the hell were they doing here? I perform a solid scan of the room. As I do, my gaze drifts back to Iria, the reason we're here in the first place.
私ここも来たことある。
本当に？
ここで私いつも大切な人と会って誰だったかな。確か
Iria clasps a hand to her head.
無理はしなくていい。
Soen immediately consoles her. He's kind of been on a roll recently. The prince has gotta be gentle and tender underneath that shining armor, you know? Had to cuff there. My Conry notifies me of the results of the solid scan.
イリアちゃんのカルテないみたい。
となると最悪の事態だな。
最悪。
これは今までの推測に推測を重ねたもので、これから裏付けをしていかなきゃならないことだけど。
I hate it when people say this shit. Just say what it is and then we'll, I know these sort of like conjectures can cloud your judgment, but at the very least, knowing some information is better than none. Ryoko puts our suspicions into words for us.
ここは東京のエネルギー事情を一手に担う超巨大企業、帝国エネルギー社の息がかかった児童保護施設で、身寄りのない子供を監禁同然にビルの中に閉じ込め、何らかの研究を行っていた。
Alright, seems reasonable enough to me.
天才仮想環境デザイナー宝行イリアはその施設の出身。ラボラトリーの一人タンユンシャンは1週間前にこの施設に忍び込み、宝行イリアのカルテを盗み出した可能性が高い。
それって
何かに巻き込まれたわけじゃない。君自身が狙われているんだ。
Iria bites her lip, fighting against an invisible terror. As I try to find the words to comfort her,
聞こえるか？
Tokitaka breaks the silence. I've got a bad feeling about this, and my instincts are usually right.
異常確認。旧池袋駅方面から人影が近づいてる。
人影？
ああ。全身が白くて。あれは。
The signal cuts out.
時高。おい、時高。
映像来るわ。
Ryoko links our X-brains to the real-time video feed captured from the Strider's TADs. Amid the pouring snow, a small cloud of dust can be seen billowing up from the top floor of the landmark tower.
何が起こったんですか？
時高君の X ブレインは沈黙。バイタルサインは一応ある。
A jammer?
多分急に上から何かが。
That something appears from the smoke, interrupting Ryoko.
空を飛んでる。
The camera zooms in on the figure. Sure enough, it has wings on its back. Did that bastard attack Tokitaka? A burst of white light spews out from the jetpack jerk's back. It's a rocket engine. That thing's coming right toward the camera, and quick. The Strider's AI detects danger and begins firing with its 30mm quad-mount autocannon. I can't believe my eyes. The jetpack jerk takes a sudden 90-degree turn. Ryoko sets the Strider in motion as the opponent adjusts its course, narrowly evading its attack. Unable to kill its momentum, the jetpack jerk crashes into a building directly behind, scattering a cloud of dust. only to pop right back up from the middle of the debris. Ryoko pulls away in the Strider, but the jetpack jerk doesn't chase after her. It just calmly idles in the air above Ikebukuro's CPC.
狙いはあなたたち。
だろうねきっと。
あいつは何？
More like it's after Iria, not us three.
人型だけど少なくとも人間じゃないな。
Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but even I know a thing or two about inertia. A perfect 90-degree turn on the spot like that should be impossible. But that jetpack jerk pulled it off, or at least something very close to it. And it withstood the sudden load, something that no human body could possibly could. So it can't be a human.
けど機械なら人間型に作る必要はない。
リビングデッド？
Most likely.
多分ねきっと。
Oh, sorry. After gaining substantial distance, the Strider catches sight of the airborne jetpack jerk. It's spinning wide circles around Ikebukuro's CPC, observing the situation. Like a hawk stalking its prey.
イリアちゃんの回収を最優先するわ。
Ryoko gives her orders.
今は使われていないけど地下道があるわ。駅前で合流よ。
If we move to a more crowded location, we can't have an all-out battle. We're allowed to request backup from the military police, and you better believe we will.
ソウン君はイリアちゃんをエスコート。地下道を通って駅前でストライダーと合流。エチカちゃんはその間、あの飛行型ハイファイリビングデッドの注意を引きつけて。
了解。
了解。
We have no objections. Experience tells us that this is the best plan of action. But Iria lacks that experience.
時坂は？あそこに置いていくの？そんなの？
大丈夫。
Soon speaks calmly.
僕たちは一括さんに鍛えられたんだ。あの程度でやられたりしない。
That's unexpected. So he's told her about Ikatsu. I thought that was kind of a sensitive subject for him. Well, I won't complain about them getting closer. Just look.
わかった。ソウンは信じるよ。
She's not fully convinced, but she trusts in him anyway. Perfect. We don't have time for a lover's quarrel on the battlefield.
生きて帰れよ。
死んでもな。
We exchange our usual banter and split up. You're gonna get turned into a living dead if you say that soon. Well then, guess I'm up against a flying enemy. But it doesn't look like it's got any firearms. If I had to guess, the concept behind this thing is that the body itself is better than any weapon. Whoever made it must be one hell of a perv. So, what's the best way to show that perv up?
ですよね。
Can't say I enjoy being on the same wavelength as my ex-brain, but that's probably the best option I've got. I pump myself up and ready my trusty AK-50, which is just itching to do battle. I blast open the door and rush down the outdoor service corridor. The Strider's intel was right on the money. The jetpack jerks flying circles above Ikebukuro's CPC. I start aiming my rifle, but the fucker notices me.
やば。
I pop off a few shots as it comes for me, but they're just to divert its attention. No way am I hitting a flying target at this range. I cease fire and rush inside the building. I hide myself behind a pillar.
降りていった。そろそろ見えなくなるわ。
了解。
Losing focus in a battle can spell certain death. My X-Brain automatically cuts any further transmissions. I pump myself up again and ready my AK-50. Now that's a showy entrance. I take aim at the jetpack jerk and pull the trigger, but it deflects all of the bullets that hit. Guess you've gotta have pretty thick skin if your MO is kamikaze strikes. The jetpack jerk lets out an unsettling hiss as it heads this way. Something extends from its arms at both sides. Steel whips of some sort. Oh shit! I immediately run for cover inside the Ikebukuro CPC. The door breaks down and thunderous roars ring throughout the empty Ikebukuro CPC. I hide behind the reception counter and scout out the enemy's form. According to my ex-brain, I should have the advantage in narrow spaces like this, but that's what I thought too, you know? When he goes inside, he's gonna be at a disadvantage, but it's cramped as hell in here, and that bald bastard can still fly? The whip-like things extending from its hands bend and warp to help it maintain balance. Looks like those things are ultra-magnetic whips. A metallic whip about 3 meters in length, formed by magnetically connecting dozens of ultra-high-purity iron blades along a wire, can be used as a spear by increasing the magnetic force connecting the blades. They're a specialized weapon made of ultra-high-purity iron blades magnetically connected via a wire to form a metal whip about 3 meters long. They can freely change shape in proportion to the magnetic force applied, which makes them a pain in the ass to deal with. When I see a perverted weapon like that, it makes me want to steal it and make it my own. We cross paths for just one moment. Right before my bayonet makes contact, the bald bastard disappears. No, it didn't disappear. It used its rocket engine and whips in its hands to evade the attack, sweeping my legs out from under me in the process. I grit my teeth in humiliation as I try to get up, but holy shit! That turning radius! The second I turn around, I get swept up and carried away. This game's battle sequences are definitely its high, you know, it's what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's like best event so far. The characterizations are not bad, but I feel like they're kind of bland in contrast. The bald bastard takes off down the hallway at tremendous speeds. It's trying to ram me into the wall. Who fucking came up with this method of attack? You think I'm just gonna sit there and take it? I take out my chainsaw and shove it into the floor. The ultra-hard polycrystalline diamond blade sinks in and provides some resistance. Thrown off by the unexpected force, the bald bastard tries to keep its balance by manipulating its ultra-magnetic whips. But its legs are wide open. I use the leverage of my chainsaw to kick the bald bastard away. It's unable to regain its stance and ends up tumbling away the dark hallway. Tumbling down. I can tell from the reverberating vibrations that it crashed into the wall. It'd be just peachy if that were the end of it, but I can hear the engine reigniting. Well, that sick freak did crash into the building head first, so I guess it's gonna take more than that to take it down. At least we have learned one thing. Narrow spaces gives us zero tactical advantage. Rabbit Punch's teeth are all dinged up thanks to that long-distance floor slide. That leaves me with my AK-50 as my only weapon. But I've got a trick up my sleeve. The enemy might be hard as hell on the outside, but as long as I can get a bite in, I win. The only problem, how do I deal with that charge? Do I head underground and call Stone for backup? Or do I lure it to the roof and try to handle it by myself? Ugh, damn it. Give me a suggestion here, X-Brain. That's your fucking job. Oh, it's a choice. Okay. I'm the X-Brain. That's pretty cool. We're gonna stick with the plan, Ethica. If you die, it's from your own incompetence. But we're sticking with the plan, okay? That's the suggestion you're going with? Hell yeah. After splitting up with Ethica, we reach the entrance. I wonder how much the route diverges in this game. I assume a lot because Ethica might be dead from my choice. This would be over with quick if we could just leave out the front door, but
涼子さん、
まだ上空を旋回してるわ。エチカちゃんが引きつけるはずだけど。外に出るタイミングを待ち続けるのもリスクね。
looks like we've got no choice but to use the underground passage, even if it seems like a trap.
気をつけて。
I offer Iria my hand. She's not wearing night vision goggles. I doubt it's easy to keep up a steady pace with only a single light.
ありがとう。
Our hands touch. It shouldn't feel any different from before, but the sensation seems somehow precious now. I think I might be on edge.
そう？
行こ
There are shards of glass and fragments of shells scattered about the floor, remnants of gunfights past. Our footsteps echo in the ruined shopping mall as we advance quickly, but carefully, making sure not to trip on anything. I hone my senses to their limit. I can't afford to overlook the slightest detail. I can't rely on Ethica or Tokitaka to back me up. I must protect Hogyo Iria.
明るい。
Iria sighs in relief at the sight of the light in the distance. I'm fine thanks to my night vision, but it must have been harrowing to keep running in the dark like that. Iria leaps into the light. Our field of view expands. Sorry about that. I was drinking water. We're inside a square atrium, part of the 4-story shopping mall. Natural sunlight filters in from the ceiling windows above, diffusing into dust as it pours down. Amid the tranquility,
そう、あれ。
there stands an imposing figure, glaring down from the 4th floor. He stands as still as a sculpture, silver hair swaying ever so gently. His reinforced bodysuit gleams in the light of the sun. Despite the shadows cast over his eyes, I can feel his gaze boring into me. It's the same gaze that Tang Yunshan looked at me with. I step forward and cover Iria.
う。お前は誰だ？
見るぐらい。
My heart leaps. I guess we don't know his appearance. Interesting. Milgram, top necromancer and proponent of the Grave Crusade principle. He leads an organization of elite necromancers known as the Laboratory, plotting to overthrow society. A phantom terrorist.
長岡武之の息子よ。私はお前に殺されに来た。
Before I can ask what that means, my ex-brain determines that Milgram is speaking truthfully. What? My heart starts beating furiously. By analyzing the idiosyncrasies of a person's speech, my ex-brain can determine whether or not they're lying. As long as it has sufficient data collected, the expanded subconscious should be able to make highly accurate judgments based on the speaker's mannerisms. As long as it has sufficient data collected. So how did my ex-brain determine Milgram's words were true so quickly? During my battle in the Neo-Koma ruins the other day, my ex-brain knew that Tang Yunshan would use his high-voltage blades to blind me. And that's because it accumulated data on him during the Sino-American War. Because my father, Nagaoka Takeyuki, had already experienced that technique in battle while wearing this ex-brain. Distress begets failure. That's something Ikatsu drilled into me time and time again. I desperately try to calm myself, but it's no use.
僕の父を殺したのはお前か。
親しい者を殺されればお前は憎しみで強くなるのか。ならばその女を殺そう。
I hear an unsettling sound from behind. I turn around to see a ghoul with bones jutting out of its hips. Two more leapt down from the upper floors. Damn, all new sprites again. I mean, they're not the most, like, what is it, detailed, but it's still nice to have new sprites, you know? Some ghouls fail to stick the landing and explode into petals of dusky red blood and rotten flesh. Milgram pays this no heed. One by one, they come jumping down, surrounding us in the blink of an eye.
そう
I grip Iria's hand tight.
命に代えても君を守る。
ダメ
I move to engage the ghouls, but Iria won't let go of my hand.
生きて帰る約束して
わかった。約束する。
If I die, I won't be punished for breaking this promise. It has no binding force. But it's by no means meaningless. The warmth of Iria's touch lingers like a fire in my hand as I grip my firearms. It feels different from usual. But why? You okay, buddy? I cast away my hesitation. I erase my confusion. I output the input from my X-brain. Nothing more, nothing less. I become a living weapon. A capable killing machine. The objective is exceedingly simple. Protect Hagyuiria. End the file. When a living dead reaches for me, I pull it in by the hand and re-kill it with a single shot to the temple. And not a moment later, I'm on to the next living dead. I make use of my remaining rotational momentum to transition into a low kick. Its legs snap like toothpicks thanks to the cracks made upon impact when it landed. When the living dead crumbles to the floor, I pin its head against the ground with my re-eliminator and fire, re-killing it. I kick off the floor, tackling the next ghoul lurching at me. I stop the enemy's movements and shoot its brains out through its chin. I fling away the re-killed corpses, a corpse with a shoulder-wheel judo throw. The corpse slams against the next incoming living dead, hindering its movement. But the living dead do not fear death. They won't stop coming until you shoot out their vitals. But pure blunt force does have its use cases. It's inefficient to simply hold your ground and bear the brunt of an opponent's momentum head-on. Normally, I would sidestep the enemy and turn their momentum against them. But right now, I've got Iria at my back. Letting them rush at me in this situation would be a risk in and of itself. So I push forward instead. Obviously, the strategy is far more fatiguing. I can't keep fighting like this for long. My X-brain can't calculate the enemy's numbers. Reinforcements keep falling down from above. The shopping mall itself is quite spacious. There's no way to tell just how many ghouls have been packed in the upper floors of the atrium. I analyze the situation as calmly as possible as I continue re-killing the ghouls. I had assumed that these were once corpses from Malacca gang disputes, but there's too many ghouls with stab wounds. Many of them have been pierced through the heart with a bladed weapon. Considering the temperature of this area and the decomposition of the bodies, the corpses must have been about 2 weeks old. That's around the same time Tang Yunshan was spotted here. If the living dead Milgram's puppeting are made with corpses from around that time, then my X-brain reads my brainwaves. It consolidates my conjecture through the mesh network. 2 weeks ago, a number of Malacca gang members went missing after a skirmish. About 30 of them. Putting my conjecture and my X-brain's calculations together, we have our number. It's not conclusive, but it's better than fighting without any leads at all. I assess my stamina and my remaining re-eliminator ammo as I swoop down upon the next living dead. Re-kill. 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 Watching the number decrease is all that keeps me going as my strength begins to flag. I can't keep this up. I'm getting driven into a corner. I understand the situation. And yet... my body is light. My will is strong. I'm holding on to hope. Killing dead bodies has been my way of life. Re-killing the dead, returning them to their natural state. An act that produces nothing. I staked everything on mere routine work. But today, it's different. Today, I'm holding these guns for the sake of the living. Today, I'm fighting a noble fight so that the living may have a tomorrow. I never knew I was capable of something like this. Last one. The ghoul is crouching in front of me. I shoot the brains out of the enemy's head. One last gunshot echoes through the hall. Dusky red blood sprays everywhere, forming a goopy puddle in the floor as silence settles back in.
Iria, 無事か？
私は
見事だ、長岡総雲。
Milgram steps forth from the darkness. He must have headed down the stairs while watching the battle unfold.
さすが長岡武之の息子。
I can't stand that look. It's like he's looking past me, just like Tang Yunshan did. I'm sure he was fondly reminiscing as he looked down at the battlefield, pulling the strings of his ghouls from up above.
気分を害したか。それほどまでに父親の存在を恥じているのか。
Shooting at him from this distance isn't going to land a fatal wound. I know that, and yet my rage nearly drives me to shoot at Milgram anyway. It's Iria's hand that stops me. She pushes me aside and faces Milgram herself.
あなた何が目的なの？どうして私を狙うの？
お前が必要だ。何にも揺るぐことのない完璧な美しさ。それをこの手にするために。
何言ってるの？
Not sure.
長岡総雲。お前になら私の言葉の意味がわかるか。
Milgram's speech seems purposely loquacious. What is that word? Almost as if he's waiting for my stamina to recover. I refuse to let him keep the initiative.
僕にわかるのは一つ。ネクロマンサーを殺すのが僕の仕事ってことだ。
よかろう。私を殺してくれ。それがスーサイドワナビズたる私の悲願だ。
Milgram readies his weapons. He wields pronge blades with hooks at their pointed tips and gun muzzles peeking out of their handles. My X-brain recognizes these. Sai pistols. A curious gun resembling the fusion of a pistol and the Okinawan Sai can be swapped between an overhand and underhand grip in order to disorient one's opponent. Curious weapons that combine the Okinawan Sai and pistols. I ready my re-eliminators and go face to face with Milgram. We still haven't seen his subordinate, so be careful, Son. I quietly approach. Rushing forward, I strike with my muzzle spike, but Milgram easily deflects it with a grip of his Sai pistol. It's such a clean response, I have to take a few steps back and regain my composure. Milgram just looks at me, not saying a word, as if nothing had happened. He pierces me with that gaze. As the ages change, so too do the perfect sword and the perfect shield. The shield has a slight advantage in the current era, owing to technological advancements and limited access to natural resources. For example, there's magnetic liquid armor. It's normally in a fluid state, offering no hindrance to motion whatsoever. But as soon as danger is detected, it solidifies to a form harder than steel. The exceptional defensive capabilities of battlesuits necessitated a huge shift in anti-personnel martial arts theory. But Milgram isn't wearing a helmet. Obviously, his cranium could very well be reinforced with a cemented carbide or bulletproof ceramic plate. But those enhancements aren't perfect, and if there's any reason not to wear a helmet on top of that, I can't think of one. It's such an obvious vulnerability to expose to your opponent. Obviously, Milgram is no idiot. I should take it as a ploy of some sort. Even my ex-brain recommends observing the enemy to scope out his true intentions. With that in mind, I'm approaching this fight cautiously. But,
来ないなら私から行くぞ。
with that declaration, Milgram leaps into action. I knew he was coming, and yet my eyes couldn't keep up with him. My body automatically obeys my ex-brain's advice and forms a cross with both my re-eliminators, barely managing to avoid a direct hit. The attack seemingly came out of nowhere. So why did it carry so much weight? I get it. He switched from a reverse grip to an overhand grip, using the centrifugal force to strike. Milgram's attack doesn't end there. He goes in for a left hook with a grip of his side pistol, directed at my defenseless side. I can't dodge. I take the blow with my right elbow. It feels like I've been hit by a truck. My body flies into the air, making an arc from near the center of the atrium all the way to a support pillar. The impact takes my breath away. Calm down, Iria. I want to tell Iria I'm fine, but I can't. My ex-brain analyzes the enemy's equipment. An anti-armor suit, an experimental prototype developed by Eclipse Corp for the US Army's Special Operations Group. A prototype device developed for use by a Special Operations Group by the Eclipse Corp. A type of reinforced bodysuit equipped with a superconducting motor, bestowing truly superhuman speed and strength upon the wearer. Pushes the human body far past its physical limits, irrevocably damaging the wearer's body. Reinforcing one's very skeleton is necessary to withstand the raw power generated by the anti-armor suit. Damn, this guy is literally ruining his own body by using that suit, eh? But then again, we don't even know if this guy is not... No, he can't be a living dead. He's a necromancer. Even the most hi-fi living dead will have to decompose at some point, right? Well, we don't know, but that's what I assume. With technological advances came rapid development of defense against bladed weapon attacks. But development of defense against blunt force attacks stagnated. With its onboard high-temperature superconducting motor, the anti-armor suit can amplify strength and speed to superhuman levels. A simple concept, but due to the sheer power output causing damage to the wearer's body, plans of mass production were shelved. But you wouldn't know it by looking at Milgram. He manipulates it with such ease as if it's his own skin. He must have modified his body to a considerable degree to enable it to withstand a shock. Which means ordinary methods won't work. My ex-brain offers a suggestion. I approve it with a flick of my eyes. The micro-portable printer strapped to my waist activates. Select the appropriate pellet, and begins outputting the specialty bullet necessary for this strategy to work. 40 seconds until printout is complete.
もう終わりか。父はそんなものではなかったぜ。
Man, we're using the printer so fast on this fight. How many times can we use it in a single fight? I think 3 times, right? I take Milgram's bait. I make an enraged charge, or at least that's what it must seem like in Milgram's eyes. I can't let him realize that I'm hiding a figurative silver bullet. I strike with my re-eliminator with all my might, showing none of the restraint I did earlier. I stop trying to track the enemy's fist with my eyes. Milgram's speed defies all logic, so what good is the logical approach? I entrust everything to my ex-brain. More accuracy, more precision, more clarity. Every motion exact. Every decision immediate.
迷いが消えた。
Milgram speaks sentimentally as he responds to my attacks. He doesn't need to focus the way I do.
長岡武之の戦いを思い出す。
But fine. If you want to show off how easy this is for you, then show off to your heart's content.
あの戦いは芸術だった。
I think nothing. I feel nothing. I become nothing more than a weapon to defeat my enemy.
長岡咲子が死ぬまで。
Is that the mom? Nagaoka Soen's mother, the daughter of a wealthy businessman, deeply loved her husband Nagaoka Takeyuki. I strike with everything I have.
いい拳だ。
Did it connect or not? Milgram wedges the re-eliminators between the prongs of his side pistol. And at the same time, I'm notified that the printout is complete. I hear a shriek behind me. A living dead has pinned Iria down. Do I shoot and free myself from the side pistol's grip so I can save Iria? Do I simply kill Milgram instantly with the printed specialty bullet? I hesitate. And as if to rebuke me for my hesitation, my X-brain hands down its decision. Its suggestion. It's my choice again? Oh, damn. Choose Milgram or Iria. Soen? Wow, this is very difficult. Thankfully, I know how to save now because these choices are very important choices. What the fuck? I did not expect to choose between these two. Someone would most likely choose Iria, but I'm the X-brain, right? I personally would choose like Milgram. This is a tough choice. Will you defy your X-brain, Soen? Because I will choose Milgram, you know. My body automatically moves in accordance with the suggestion. Am I in a bad route? I don't know. The suggestion says to head to the roof. Ah, damn it. As if that weren't obvious from the start. That's the only choice I've got if I want to go wild. Kiri's face flashes in the back of my mind for a second, but I shut off my X-brain. Okay, now I feel refreshed. I head up the stairs as per the original plan. I'll toss that bald bastard into this thing over here. So to do that, I'll get into position and wait. That's right. Man, maybe if I went downstairs and, you know, regroup with Soen, I could have actually finished off Milgram. But because Ethica is not downstairs, she can't protect Iria while I finish off Milgram. Maybe I made a bad mistake. I can feel a faint shock reverberating through the ground. The fucker's probably blown away the stairwell door and gotten outside. Welp, I'll just have to make sure I'm prepared. The bald bastard soars into the sky, and as soon as it catches sight of me, it swoops down at a 90-degree angle. I stand out in the open and wait for my falling foe. Okay, that's it. Keep going. At that speed, it should probably be fine. Probably. Ugh. As if I'm gonna start relying on my X-Brain now. When that bastard rammed into the landmark tower, it attacked Tokitaka from directly above. You can't snipe at an opponent coming down at that sharp of an angle. Good luck shifting your stance 90 degrees. The enemy is both extraordinarily mobile and extraordinarily sturdy. Choosing the kamikaze approach only makes sense. But don't get cocky, you bald bastard. I've got you in the palm of my hand. This is a 9-story building. Wait, what is she doing? The aquarium was an expansion added to the roof. Oh, okay. So she's standing directly below the aquarium. So the newly expanded roof is softer than the other floors, meaning it's nowhere near as durable against blunt force. And if this roof crumbles, then what awaits underneath is... your watery grave, you bald bastard. We're now inside the water tank of the aquarium on the top floor. Rocket engines can function underwater, but it's not the same as flying in the air now, is it? Meanwhile, I love swimming in the water. Now I've got the terrain advantage. First of all, we're underwater. In the air, the tips of your ultramagnetic whips break the speed of sound, but underwater, they're not a threat at all. Meanwhile, I've got an AK-50. While its power is reduced quite a bit underwater, and rapid fire can cause it to jam, it'll still hurt quite a bit at point-blank range. And I've also got another trick up my sleeve. Oh? The bald bastard's weapon is too fast. The metal rod stabs into my thigh, dirtying the water. I recall my X-Brain's info. Those steel whips can freely change shape with the application of a magnetic field. While they may not be usable as whips in the water, they can still be effective weapons if you harden them into spears. The intense pain causes my vision to warp. Damn it! I grit my teeth through the pain, yank out the tip of the spear alongside some of my flesh, and then stab the bald bastard's body with my AK-50's bayonet. Always a peculiar sensation, a mix of organic and inorganic material, rotten flesh and cold steel. I place my finger on the second trigger in the base of the bayonet. You've really pissed me off now, motherfucker. High-pressure gas erupts from inside the bayonet, blowing off the bald bastard's wings. It's a WASP injection knife. One press of the button, and it shoots a cartridge of compressed CO2 gas out of the blade's tip, pulverizing the enemy's body. Not easily reloaded, but that's why it's my AK-50's trump card. Red and white bubbles form in the water tank. Is that color mine? But no time to ponder. I'm suddenly swept away by a surging water current. Shit! Did a stray bullet hit the tank or something? Once the water starts flowing, it only picks up momentum, like a breached levee. Me and the bald bastard are both powerless as the broken water tank spits us out. Not looking good. I cough violently as I try to get up, but damn it! The bones in my left leg are completely shot. My leg's just barely connected by the flesh of my thigh. The bald bastard starts spinning its ultramagnetic whips round and round, as if to assert dominance. And I've got no way to counterattack since I lost my grip on my AK-50 somewhere in the water. Shit. This ain't good. My skin tingles as death approaches. I may be something of an optimist, but I can't see a way to win this one. Ah, damn it! You gotta be fucking kidding me! Why do I gotta remember Kiri's face now of all times? It's almost like a... I think I made a mistake. Sorry, Ethika. The enemy stabs me through the heart. Sorry, Kiri. Don't think I'm coming back alive. Did I also mess up for Soen? Soen, are you dead? Now that my right rear limiter has been caught, this is the best timing to reload with my specialty bullet. Mentally, you leave yourself open a bit when the enemy loses one of their weapons. If I take advantage of that opening, I might be able to drive Milgram into a corner. I'll kill Milgram before his ghoul minion can get Iria. That's the most certain method of saving her. I abide by my X-Brain suggestion. I pull back the slide. With the empty chamber visible, I reach for the printed bullet. I load the bullet directly into the chamber. I've done this many times before. I don't lose so much as a particle of composure in the process. I pull the trigger, but I'm not aiming at Milgram. My target is the floor. Upon impact, the encased solution spreads out from the crushed shell. There is only a minuscule amount of liquid inside, but upon contact with the moisture in the air, it begins to spread across the level floor. This is an MDS bullet. One of Nagaoka Soen's specialty bullets applies a nanocoating to the floor, greatly reducing friction and impeding the opponent's movement. If applied to a perfectly smooth surface, the resulting footing is roughly 50 times slippier than ice. It spreads a nanocoating onto the ground that smooths the surface to a near zero coefficient of friction. It's about 50 times as slippery as ice. Milgram's strength is based on sheer force, but that sheer force is based on his body mass and friction. His heavy attacks are only made possible by the floor supporting his body, so I'll render that support useless. Obviously, no matter of compression can bypass the physical limitation of how much volume you can contain in a specialty bullet. Without the proper conditions, the solution won't spread properly. But this flat, level floor is perfect. If it's enough to make him lose his balance, then I think I failed both chances. Oh my god. I think I made a very bad mistake. Milgram brings his fist forward to strike me, but stops. He doesn't hit me. Instead, he grabs my shoulder with his fingertips and holds me in place. He tightens his grip like a vise. I can't escape. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not he slips on the floor. I try to reload, but I can't make it in time. Milgram puts away his side pistol and swings with a knife hand strike. His fingertips break through my magnetic liquid armor. I can feel my skin tear and my ribs wrench open. No, he may have gotten even deeper than that. Iria cries out from afar. I struggle to get away. I can't afford to die here. I can't let her mourn for me. It's no use. No, I'm not done yet.
私を失望させたな。長岡壮。これは罰だ。
Milgram draws back his bloodied hand. Gouging a hole in my body. I guess this is the game's like warning to you, or like, you know, telling you that, yeah, maybe it's not a good idea to try to kill the big bad in the first choice. And taking my heart with it. I'm sorry, Iria. I'm dead. Is the story gonna continue? After both of them are dead? I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I fucking hate my old man. Oh, this is, Ethica. She's not dead yet? I straight up despise him. Catching a glimpse of Dad, I rush through the lush greenery of the botanical garden. I was just a kid back then. I didn't understand a single thing about how the world actually worked. Hell, I couldn't even comprehend what the word war meant. Only one thing mattered to me at the time. I wanted Dad to stay home.
列をやっつけるの。
I gaze up at the man towering above me like a giant. The backlight of the artificial sun makes it difficult to discern his expression. And yet, my young mind can tell that something is off.
パパ、どうしたの？
お前は
Try as I might, I can't seem to recall the rest of that sentence. Just what did he say to me that day? I was still young when news of my father's death in the south reached me. Why do I see Ryoko or something there? Was that Ryoko? Or was that Mitsumi? I don't know. Are we gonna get something like a sex scene here? It would be very awkward if we do. And although my mother, Sakiko, belonged to a wealthy family, they broke off all contact with me following her passing. I was but a child, unable to fend for myself. In the end, the person who saved me from having to be sent off to an orphanage was none other than Karasuzumi Ikatsu, who once served in the same CQAMA training unit as my father. He welcomed me into his family as his own. Ikatsu was one of the men who gave us the weapons and knowledge we needed to survive in the Tokyo of the 22nd century. I'm not a believer in any particular religion, but to me, the man was nothing short of a god. And this god had some rather depraved sexual proclivities. Wait, what the fuck? Why are we talking about this? This is a bit random. Patreon.com/Azaikyousuke. Sorry, YouTube. Is he into, like, you know, children? How many years has it been since he first called for me in the middle of the night? Oh, what the fuck? Thanks, son.
一括さん。
な遅かったじゃないか。
Ikatsu, our mentor, is an intimidating person, to say the least. At over 2 meters tall and boasting a set of perfectly sculpted muscles, he's a veritable mountain of a man. Merely being in his presence is enough to make you feel uneasy. He trains us relentlessly in the ways of close quarters armed martial arts, never once pulling his punches. His methods are savage enough to make us genuinely fear for our lives. But what scares me the most is the way he laughs. I can never really tell what's going through his mind. His behavior has made me question if he's even human at all.
時高はもう来てるぞ。
時高が
Ikatsu pushes open the door leading to Ryoko's bedroom. Yeah, this is probably it for you guys on YouTube. Inside, I'm greeted by the sight of a completely naked Tokitaka, along with... Do I show this to YouTube? Do I just give you guys a recap? I am so confused. I am so confused about what to do with that information that I just got. I probably will not show that on YouTube because it's still very sexual, even though, you know, the context is not sexual. But yeah, Son, after what I probably will cut for you guys on YouTube, Son saw Tokitaka having sex with Ryoko. And Ryoko turns out to be a very, like, crazy masochist. Son can't ejaculate. Seems there's this thing called, like, his dad's ghost or something that, you know, makes him, like, you know, dad like son or whatever. I guess Son is, like, too logical or something. He might not be able to do it with unless it's a girl he loves. Maybe? I'm not sure. And yeah, after that, Ryoko gets punished by Ikatsu. And then they have passionate sex. That was the... that was the sex scene, which was super awkward. Son was just standing there looking, like, flustered. Not even ejaculating at the end. But yeah, it looks like we're still alive. I can't believe this is still going. The same old nightmare. And the same darkness that has cast its shadow over my life.
ソン、
時高。
やっと起きたか。電動をかけさせるなよ。
I thought the guy gouged our heart. How are we still alive? I finally notice it. There's a dull ache in my body. I attempt to lift an arm and notice that I've been fitted with a smart cast on each limb. A cast constructed from smart material, capable of altering the pressure it applies in accordance with the current state of the patient's injury, greatly reduces recovery times compared to conventional casts. More importantly, I'm not even in my own room.
軍警察附属病院だ。
Tokitaka's words jog my memory. I must have been injured at the Ikebukuro CPC and...
イリア。
無事だよ。お前が倒れたところに、三海がやってきた。なんとかミルグラムを追っ払って、事なきを得たよ。
What? That girl can face off against Milgram on her own?
本当に。
100% 真実だ。
Relief washes over me. Maybe Milgram wasn't taking the fight seriously. Tokitaka never jokes around when it comes to numbers. I'll have to make sure to thank Mitsumi later. I'm a little ashamed I couldn't protect Iria myself, but if she's fine, that's all that matters. Actually, wait a second. We're not in the clear yet.
今はどこに？
事務所だよ。
エチカと一緒に。
いや、一人だ。
Is Etika dead?
どうして？
The bed creaks under me as I yell at Tokitaka.
多分ミルグラムはイリアを狙ってる。一人にしたらいつ襲ってきてもおかしくないんだぞ。
落ち着けよ。事務所のセキュリティ対策は万全だ。
His words do little to assuage my fears. If someone of Milgram's caliber is genuinely trying to capture Iria, a mere security system isn't going to stop them, regardless of how advanced it is. Ryoko is certainly experienced enough to have realized that.
でも、じゃあ、涼子さんは
上の病室にいるよ。エチカの付き添いだ。
Is she also still alive? What the? Is this not a bad end?
付き添い？
Tokitaka nods, his expression turning bitter.
ああ。エチカもハイファイにやられて、お前と同じ状態なんだよ。
This means that the enemy actually purposefully didn't kill us. Interesting. This is very interesting. That was one hell of a nightmare. Your nightmare isn't really that bad, to be honest, Ethika, compared to Sone's. I mean, you're basically, with your daddy issues. I'm pretty sure I even called my old man daddy. Man, I feel like shit. Wait a sec. Where am I?
ちょっとやだ、涼子さんいきなり。
A dull ache courses through my body. What's going on? And why is Ryoko clinging to me like this? Is this what you call special treatment? Yeah, right. I had a bit of a hard time getting the overjoyed Ryoko to fill me in on the details. It wasn't until 2 hours later that I finally got the full picture of what happened to me. Both Soon and I are allowed to leave the hospital that same day.
なんか嘘みたいだな。
まあね。
When I was shown the photos, I had a hard time believing my body could end up in a state like that. Of course, I'm very much aware of how the hospital keeps spare parts in stock. Talented living dead stalkers are considered a vital asset. The military police knows this as well. The hospital preserves the somatic cells of high-value individuals in case of emergency. A continuous cultivation system ensures that any necessary organs are always ready to be transplanted. I see, so they have ourselves, huh? I don't exactly feel comfortable thinking about it, but the fact remains that this system saved our lives. So they always have spares for us. That's definitely pretty terrifying if you think about it. The doctors told me to avoid excessive physical activities for the rest of the day. But that's about it. Having such a lightning-fast recovery kind of makes me feel weird, to be honest. Then again, maybe I should just count my lucky stars and forget about the whole thing.
キリ姉に連絡は？
渚大尉がするって言ってたけど。
ああ、そっか。
She probably didn't tell her. Barring any urgent business, Kiri would have absolutely rushed to the hospital the moment she heard what happened. And even if she couldn't make it there in person, she would have at least sent a message to my Connery. She's just that kind of girl. Anyway, the bottom line is that Kazuma probably didn't pass on the news. Or rather, she wasn't allowed to. For once, Dad's way of handling things actually came in handy. I don't want to cause Kiri any needless worry. He's still an asshole though.
さあ、事務所に急ごう。
Man, he's sure grown attached to Iria. Melts the old heart, it does. I head back to the Karasuzumi living at Stalker office at my usual pace. It's where we belong. The one place we can call home. A lot's happened, but we finally made it back in one piece. I wasn't even away for that long, but it's still making me feel all sorts of emotions.
ただいま
ただいま。
Iria flies into Soen's arms, nearly tackling the poor guy to the ground. I even notice him stagger back a bit. He did literally just get discharged though, so I guess it's no surprise.
大丈夫？大丈夫？本当に大丈夫なの？
ああ、なんとかね。
でも私のせいであんなになっちゃって。
Technically speaking, it's my fault, Iria.
君のせいじゃない。僕の力不足だ。
ソウンが危ないって言うのに、私がついていきたいなって言うから。ごめん。ソウン。ごめんね。
Iria buries her head in Soen's chest and starts sobbing. As I take another glance at the nearby table, I notice an empty can of Crazy Dragon. Being worried about Soen must have kept her up all night. I can't even imagine how awful it must have been for her to wait here all alone. Soen stands awkwardly in the middle of the room with Iria still clinging onto him. Ryoko, Tokitaka, and I watch over them from a slight distance, our gazes warm with contentment. It's good to be back home. That plus 15 and the fact that it's red is giving me some anxiety. But with that, I think this is a good time for us to end the episode. I can't believe this is actually still going. I was expecting to, you know, like if this was any other visual novel, you'd have like a bad end at the end of those scenes, but no, the game is keeping to continue. So this is already a bit above my expectations, so this is nice. If this turns into a bad end from a choice that I choose like this far away, I'm actually going to be very like pleasantly surprised. I hope it does. I really love long bad ends. As weird as that sounds. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. This episode was really nice for me. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with that weird scene uncensored for you guys to enjoy. I don't know if you guys would enjoy that as a, you know, as like a research purpose material, but it is there if you guys want it. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna record Rants 4.2 after this.